My wife's daughter humiliated me in front of the whole family. When I complained, my wife cut me off. You aren't her father. Don't demand respect. Just smile. The next day, I cut her off her university apartment. Car, phone, and card all disappeared. I didn't say a word when the wine hit my face. It was my stepdaughter's 21st birthday dinner, expensive steakhouse, 20 family members present, and I was footing the $3,000 bill. I had simply asked Chloe to lower her voice because she was mocking the waiter. She didn't just snap, she exploded. You're a pathetic loser. Mark, she sneered, her voice carrying across the silent restaurant. You're just a guy who pays the bills. You have zero authority over me. You're nothing but a bank. With a receding hairline. Then she threw her glass. The red wine soaked into my white dress shirt. I looked at my wife, Sarah, expecting her to intervene, to defend me, to at least be horrified. Instead, Sarah leaned over and whispered, loud enough for the table to hear. Sit down, Mark. You're embarrassing. You aren't her father. Don't demand respect from a girl who doesn't owe you any. The table erupted in snickers, with smirk scrolling through her phone. Already over it. I didn't argue. I didn't wipe the wine off. I just smiled. It was a small, tight smile. You're right, Sarah, I said quietly. I'm not her father. I signaled the waiter, paid the bill in full, and tipped 30%. I wanted my exit to be flawless. I drove home in silence. I tried to lecture me in the car about overstepping boundaries, but I just nodded. I was already on my phone, making moves. See, Sarah and Chloe forgot one thing. When Sarah and I married 5 years ago, she was drowning in debt. I took Chloe in like my own. I put the apartment in the city in my name. I bought the 2024 Audi. Chloe drives. I paid the tuition for her Ivy League communications degree. I even put her on my Black Amex and my premium family cellular plan. Since I wasn't her father, I decided it was time to stop acting like one. I stayed up until 3 a.m. First, I called the landlord of Chloe's luxury apartment. The lease was in my name, month to month. I terminated it effective immediately and paid the expedited move-out fee. Next, I logged into the Audi financial portal. The car was a lease under my business. Reported it as unauthorized. Used and called the repo company I used for my firm. I gave them her GPS coordinates, then the tuition. The semester payment was sitting in pending status for the upcoming final term. I clicked cancel finally. I opened the Amex app. Deactivate. I opened the Verizon portal. Remove line. I slept like a baby. The fireworks started at 10 a.m. the next morning. Sarah's phone started screaming on the nightstand. It was Chloe. I could hear her hysterical shrieking from 3 feet away. Mom, my car is gone. Some guys just hooked it up to a truck and drove off. They said the owner revoked access. Sarah sat up, confused. What? Chloe, honey, calm down. And my card? I tried to buy breakfast and it declined. I called the bank and they said the account is closed. Sarah looked at me, her eyes widening. Mark, did you do something to Chloe's card? I was calmly sipping my coffee, reading the news. I'm not her father. Sarah, remember? I was just taking your advice. I'm staying out of her business. Then Chloe's voice came through the speaker, sounding terrified. Mom, I just got an email from the university. My registration for next semester is canceled due to non-payment. And my landlord just texted changing the locks at noon because the leaseholder terminated the agreement. Sarah dropped the phone. She looked at me like I was a monster. Mark, you can't do this. She's 21. She has nowhere to go. She has you, I said, setting my coffee down. But since I have no authority, and I'm just a bank, and I've decided to close the branch, if she wants a lifestyle funded by a pathetic loser. She's out of luck. You're being petty, Sarah screamed. Fix this right now. I stood up and grabbed my briefcase. I've already moved my personal funds to a separate account. The mortgage on this house is paid through next month. After that, you'll need to figure it out. What are you talking about? Sarah stammered. I'm filing for divorce, Sarah. If I'm not your father, then you aren't my wife. You're just another person who sat back and watched me get humiliated while I paid for your life. Walked to the door but paused and tell Chloe she should probably save her battery. The phone plan cuts off in 10 minutes. Walked out and didn't look back. I heard later that Chloe had to move back into her mother's cramped 2-bedroom apartment. He's working 2 jobs to try and pay back the university. Sarah tried to sue for financial abandonment, but my lawyers laughed her out of the room. Respect is earned, but the lifestyle, that was a gift, and I don't give gifts to people who spit in my face.